Hello, hello, and welcome everybody. Thanks for being here. Happy Monday. The weekend's over, which is always a sad thing, but I'm streaming, so I guess that's a good thing. We are gonna be but we are gonna be continuing to work on our Wolverine painting. I'm like pointing at it even though you guys can't see it right now because we're hanging out in the duck pond. I've been really enjoying this. I'm glad to get back at it. I've been having a lot of fun painting this one. I like it a lot. We definitely made some good progress doing a lot of detail work on this one, which is, I don't know, I've been enjoying it. I do have a confession to make, guys. I got The Sims and I played it like all weekend. Like seriously, it was like all I did all weekend. And it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. But you can get lost, and there's so much to do, which I didn't realize. There's so much to do, and you can like download and add on like all this stuff. Like I spent hours just adding on mods for like hair and clothes and stuff like that to get like some really cool looking stuff. And I gotta be honest, it's like all I want to do today. We can all blame Chaotic or Crack Gamer Girl or Emma, whatever you know her as. We can all blame her because that's all I want to do. Thank you so much. I'm not sure how to say that. Spike? SPK? Thank you so much, SPK, for the follow over on Mixer. Really appreciate that. How are you doing? Renee's here too. Hello, Renee. How's it going? I'm actually proud of myself in my current gameplay of The Sims. I'm not using any cheats, which is not like me. Normally I give myself the best amount of money, like all the monies, and then I just have this amazing house, and it's like, well, there's no reason to do anything else because I have all the money ever. So I haven't been using any cheats, and I made a little house with like my character, and then my character has like a little sister, and my character is a painter, and she's like working on painting and stuff, and then the sister is like still in high school. Yeah, I mean, it is a lot of fun. The only thing is that I wish like the length of the day were a little bit longer, because the way it's set up, it's like it takes them an hour to like eat a bowl of cereal, and like that's a whole hour. Well, no, I mean you can eat a bowl of cereal in like 10-15 minutes, and that's not even like garbling it down, you know. And the time goes by really, really quick. So that's my only complaint. But I think there is a way to fix that, which actually might be a mod. So I might have to get that mod to kind of fix that, slow the day down a little bit so I can actually get some stuff done. And I do wish that they like took care of their minimal stuff when I'm not paying attention to them. Like if I'm doing something with one character and then I'll switch back to the other one, then she's like almost about to pee her pants. I'm like, why didn't you go do that? Or like, if the sister's at school and my character has a day off, I'll go to like the park or something, and the next thing I know, it's like super late, and I'll head back to the house, and the sister's just sitting there, hasn't done her homework. It's like, got like all these plates of hamburgers everywhere. I'm like, what have you been doing since I was gone? Like, what is all this stuff? But yeah, it's a strange game. I'm okay, but can't stare at the screen too long today. Okay, complete, gotcha. Definitely understand that. But I'm glad you're doing all right. I scared you with the confession. Yeah. Orlone, hello. I mean, I don't want them to go crazy doing all kinds of stuff without my permission, but I mean, basic stuff. Well, I'm not paying attention to them, I'm okay with. And they do still do stuff on their own. Like they occasionally will go to the bathroom on their own. They like to eat a lot, I've noticed. They'll go up and just go eat all the time. And it can be sort of frustrating, like if I'm having one character make a big dinner for everyone, and then the other one just goes up and like makes a grilled cheese. I'm like, I was just making you food. Like, what are you doing? But yeah, they do that a lot. Let's see. I don't think I have any other announcements. I saw Captain Marvel. It was awesome. Really liked it. If you guys are into the superhero movies, I definitely recommend that one. It's really good. And yeah, I think that's it. All right, let's get rid of this music here. And let's pick something else. Let's go with let's see. I'll do this one. Let's see what happens. Kind of a little happy tune. The bad thing about using the music on this is that it occasionally just pauses itself. I don't know why, but it does. Okay, and then I guess you guys probably want to see the paintings, so how about this? How about this? You can see the painting now. Okay, so last time we spent some more time on the sky, which, I don't know, I feel like I'm just gonna give up on it for now. There's like something still kind of weird about it that I'm not super duper happy with, but I mean, it is what it is. It's like something over here, like I can't get like this area to look like what I want. I'm really happy with the bricks. I think the bricks look really great. I like these rocks down here, that looks good. And then we started working on the sentinel, so I did like this and this part and all those details. I know it probably doesn't look like a lot, but this was a lot of work, a lot of detail in there. I spent probably most of the time working on that. And then, of course, the sky. So I'm gonna try to stay away from the sky today because we spent so much time working on that up until now. And I think I want to continue with the sentinel. Maybe we can get the sentinel completely done today and then really start to get into Wolverine, which is, I know, probably what everybody's really excited for. But since he's the main focus, I've been kind of saving him for last and working around. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with it so far. So it looks like from these colors over here, from what I used, I'm gonna need white, yellow, red, and a purple. I think I've been using a purple instead of making a purple. You can mix blue and red together and get purple, but it's easier to just use a purple and have it be consistent instead of making it and then maybe making it with too much blue or too much red and throwing the color off one way or the other. Looks like there's, I don't know if I did that on purpose or not. Alright, so I'm gonna get my colors out. So like always, I am using my Liquid Basics colors, except for the white. I've actually got Winsor & Newton white. Now Winsor & Newton is a little bit of a nicer brand, but I've still heard a lot of good things about Liquid stuff, so. And I also have a Winsor & Newton red, which I picked up after doing Spider-Man because I didn't have the red color that I really wanted, so I specifically went out and bought a red that I thought was more true to the color that we need. And I think this was the purple. So to be specific, we are using titanium white, cadmium yellow, cadmium red, and dioxazine purple. And I don't know if I'm saying that word right. It's like, it's a weird word. Also, I should probably get black. I usually use a bit of black. And then our black is just ivory black. Okay, so here are our colors. White, yellow, red, purple, and black. I use kind of a bigger globs because, well, if I can keep them from drying, I'll probably use them because I use them a lot in the rest of the Sentinel painting that I worked on. But, you know, a lot of this is very similar shades. This is all, like, purpley pretty much everywhere. But that's pretty cool. Okay, let's see. I want to see what brush I want to use. It looks like I have started to kind of do his mouth and his eyes. I don't know what I'm going to do about his flesh tone. I'm really not sure how to match that color. So I think I'm going to work on this stuff. I'm just going to put that off for now because I'm not sure how to do it. If you guys see me do this, I learned a secret to keep my earbud in. I just tucked this one like over my ear. It looks kind of weird, but For whatever reason, doing that keeps this one in. I don't know how it does it. I don't know why it does it, but it does do it. Thank you so much for the follow. It looks like her name is, oh gosh, Nikodra, maybe? I hope I said that right. If I didn't, please let me know. Okay, so I definitely want a small brush. I think I'm gonna go with, do I have a baby filbert? Maybe this one? This one might end up being too small, but this is a brush that I'm using. I think it'll be pretty good to get in there. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just kind of, I'm gonna start off spritzing my colors a little bit. Gotta keep them wet so that they don't dry. Acrylics dry super fast. Oh, I got it. Nice. How you doing today? Happy Monday. Thanks for being here. So let's start back over here. So if you see on the reference, it's quite dark and there are slight bits of highlights, but it's mostly really dark. So I'm gonna take purple and I'm gonna take black. I'm just gonna mix those together. So I want a pretty dark color. And it doesn't matter if it's not as dark as the reference right now, because we can go darker. You can very easily go darker and darker. It's hard to go lighter. And there's a highlight right there, so I think I'm gonna try to leave that space. I'm gonna have to be kind of gentle around here around what I've already painted, because I don't want to really mess anything up. I mean, I can do touch-ups. That's the good thing about acrylics, is that paint dries, so you can work in layers pretty easily. But, I mean, it's not magic. There is a limit, and some colors just don't cover up other colors as well, which we've learned. Which, in case, that's why there's white paint right here, because the color I was trying to paint over on top of that, dark blue color, wasn't showing. So we painted white there, and eventually I'll get around to fixing that. Okay, and let's just go right there like this. I'm still having fun trying out different brushes and seeing the effects that they do. So I think there's definitely the right brush for the right job. And I'm still getting used to what that is. So that's always pretty fun. I'm trying to keep there from being like large clumps of paint on here, but okay. And there's like, I don't know, like little bloop, 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 little highlights right there. I want to keep those, since I'm not sure how well, because it looks like it's mostly yellow, since I'm not sure how well yellow will show up against purple, which I don't think is very well at all. I'm going to try to just not paint there, so that when I add the yellow, it'll show, because I don't think it'll show on top of the purple. Just kind of comes down like that. This one already slipped off. I hope it doesn't get stuck in my hair. That's always a real threat for me. SBK, I'm doing great. How are you doing? Alpha Dog, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Can't wait for us to get a little bit further into Wolverine himself. I keep putting it off though, since he is like the big focal point. I want to do really well when we actually get to him. So I've just been sort of doing everything else, but we will get to him at some point. And SPK, thank you for the host. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. If you are new here, you're probably going to want to also follow me on Twitter and join the Discord server. I post all my announcements on there. That's where we hang out when I'm not streaming. Ah! Alright, I'm just gonna move over here now. Did something I didn't like. Let's move away from it. Try to scoop up some of that paint. I covered up my highlight area a little bit, so that was what I messed up on. That's okay. When in doubt, use white paint. That's my little trick. Use white paint if you really have to like clean up some type of mistake. Okay, now I think that's where this ends. And I feel like I didn't leave that gap. There's supposed to be a gap here. Whatever, that's not gonna matter. There is a pipe up here. So let's, and by pipe, I don't know what it is. Probably a wire. I think it's actually probably a wire. It's okay. Or a cable, something like that. I'll just put that in there. And then there's one that comes out right here too. And it kind of comes down like this. Now this stuff, it really doesn't have to be like a perfect copy. I mean, who really knows what a Sentinel looks like when you rip it apart? Or exactly where all the little wires and cables are gonna lay when that happens. So, because I don't have a gap, whatever. But it does look like there's like something happening right here, a little box or something. So I'm just gonna like, I'm gonna put something there. I don't know what that is, so it's gonna make it a little bit hard to paint. Just kind of eyeball something similar. Something similar. Okay, now I'm gonna take a little bit of red and a touch of white. We're gonna lighten this up slightly. Because we need to show that there are some different colors in here. The white will help a bit because white goes on top of other colors pretty well. I'm gonna add just a touch more white. I'm gonna get a little bit of water on my brush. This is an acrylic painting after wall. Sometimes you need that water to get things flowing. If you have too much paper towels. So what did everybody else do this weekend? I would love to hear about it. If you guys did anything interesting or even anything boring. It's nice to know what you guys are up to. Like I said, I went to see Captain Marvel, which was really, really good. I had a very fun time watching that movie. I love the superhero movies though. How did I get paint on my hand already? I don't know how I do it, but I do every single time. Somehow. Every single time. Guaranteed. As long as I can keep it off my clothes, that's the important part. Keep it off my clothes. I don't wear my best clothes when I paint though, most of the time. I did ruin a button-up that I used for work during my Bob Ross dress up Halloween painting stream that I did. But you know what? Sacrifices can happen for the stream. I'm pretty sure this playlist was supposed to be pop. I don't know if I would consider any of the songs we've heard so far pop music. Now right now I'm just trying to kind of darken up the darker areas because this is quite dark right there. So I'm basically just using sort of like a thin down black to kind of go over everything. And I'm trying to get like a nice blend between that light and that dark area. I'm going to switch to a different clean brush. I like to use this brush to blend. It does a pretty good job. So I don't know if you can see, but I think it blends the two colors pretty nicely. Sometimes I'm not sure how clear things are for your guys' perspectives, but looks pretty good for mine. I think I want to add a little bit more dark right here. And right there. And let's blend that out. Your blending time for acrylics is really low. You have to move pretty fast because it dries so quickly. Oceana? Is that how I say that? Hello, hello. How are you doing today? You're gonna chill here for a bit. Nice. Can I make him bloody? That might be a little too drastic, but also he's fighting a sentinel. I don't think they have blood. You need a relaxing stream. Well, I hope that means that, well, what I hope it doesn't mean is that you had a stressful day. Hopefully your day wasn't too bad, but it's awesome that you're coming out here to hang out and relax. I see that quite often where people say that just watching the paint streams can be pretty relaxing, which is always nice. Alright, so I'm mixing up some more color. We're gonna move on. I think I'm gonna do this pipe now. I'm gonna let those dry so that I can work up on the layers. And it shouldn't take too long. I also just realized that this comes out and up here, and I don't have that. I'm gonna have to add it. So I'm gonna take a little black and a bunch of white. I wanna make a very light color. Some more black. I have a very light grayish color. And let's just sketch this in a little bit where that's supposed to go. And I think it would just kind of come up and off, so I think I'm actually gonna curve it because I don't want it to get in front of the wall, but I don't mind if it's back here. It's about, let's see, about that thick, I think. Let's just have this kind of come up and off like that. Something like that. Okay. Now I'm gonna throw in a base color. I mean, it's pretty dark. There's some highlights on the side. Let's go just ahead with a light base color before it gets missed. And I'm not being too picky right here about if I'm covering up his claws or not. I'll be able to paint those back again. White paints over other colors very easily. I guess not like, maybe very easily is not the right word, but fairly easy. Touch up there, okay. Let's go. And yeah, let's just cover this whole little space in. Just like that. Adding base colors can really help, at least for me and for my style. I really like to do that. To start off with one color and then go back in and add your highlights and your shadows. But I have seen other people not paint that way. So I guess it all depends on your own technique and preference. But it's something that I like. And it's a trick that I actually picked up in drawing pen and paper. Well, I guess pencil and paper. Sometimes I would just take just some, let's see, I don't know how to describe this. I would take a pencil and kind of just like rub it on a piece of paper like this and just draw all these lines and stuff, get all this like graphite, then take like a paper towel and rub it in there and get it on the paper towel. Then use that to color the page to get a base color. And then from there, when you add your highlights and the shadows and stuff, it can look really nice. But that doesn't always work with everything you're looking for. If you're trying to do something that's just very crisp and has bright whites, you don't want to do that because you'll never get your bright whites super white again. But it is a pretty cool effect sometimes. So if you guys like drawing, you might want to try that out. And if you want to erase stuff on there, you probably need to get a kneaded eraser. It kind of looks like a piece of gum or something, and you like pull it and stretch it, sort of like taffy, and fold it back in on itself, and that's how you clean it. So they clean pretty easily like that. You just got to do it for a minute, and you can like roll parts of it into really sharp edges, and that's how you do your erasing. You erase with that. So you take it, roll it nice and sharp, and be kind of like this, and just erase in the colors and get your whites that way. But like I said, it won't be like super bright white, but still pretty cool. You wonder if a Nightbot can do Swedish words. I suppose if he was programmed by somebody that spoke Swedish. Oh no, not a war with Nightbot. Are you gonna keep the divide between black and yellow between his eyes? Yeah, I am, because that's what it's like in my picture here. He's got, the white comes right down right there. It's not perfect the way I've got it. I mean, I just have like the base in there. But yeah, in my reference, I don't know how well you can see, but it definitely is yellow all the way down. Ooh, you gotta share that link with me on Discord. I'd love to go check out some of your paintings too. Okay, so I'm gonna start to add a bit of red into my purple because there's definitely a red tint. Now when I added red, it became very pink, so I'm gonna take a little bit of black and throw that in there to kind of get more of like a gray red and not a pink red. So I'm adding the red as I need it, and the black as I need it, maybe a little purple too. Just until I get the color that I'm looking for. Bit of white when it gets too dark. A lot of mixing of colors, but you can get some pretty cool effects. Okay. Let's see. Now I do need to keep in mind, I mean there's a lot going on here. I'm probably not going to do like those things, I don't know what those are, but I do have these little pipes here. This big one, there's something right here, so I need to add that. There's something going this way, there's like a cable right here, there's cables back here. So I'm trying to keep all of that in mind to figure out where to go next. So I think I'm going to add this color right here. It's a pretty light color right there. And then for whatever reason, it's like lighter at the bottom and then gets darker. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go lighter here and work our way up. You can always take a clean brush and a bit of water. Not a lot, just a little bit. And that'll kind of let you push the paint around a little bit more to help you blend. But it does thin it out, so keep that in mind. Because I could also not do what you wanted to do. Just a little practice and experimenting. So over here, it gets kind of dark right there. The highlight's on this side. So I'm gonna stay away from this side, let the highlights hit that. But let's go a bit darker now. And it kind of is just a straight line, something like that. This is all pretty dark. It looks like this pipe or cable or whatever that is going in here. I mean, I don't see where it just kind of disappears. So let's just add that. gonna switch to my other brush and kind of blend this out. Okay. It's a little bit darker right here too. And I'm just holding my brushes in my fingers like this and switching back and forth as I need them. Sometimes it can get pretty crowded in that hand. If I'm switching back and forth in between, like, you know, 3 or so brushes. Okay, now there's some kind of piece of something here, so I'm gonna add that in. So let's start off with a nice dark line. I'm trying to use basically just pure black for this. And then we're gonna go next to it. Let me see. I'm gonna use a different brush because I'm going into some pure white and a touch of yellow. We're gonna go just right next to that. I'm still not getting that black line like I want. There we go. The black line's pretty important because it separates this from what's behind it. Makes it pop out. Otherwise, you might not realize that this was something separate. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. Alright. And I think I need to go darker along the edge, so let's take this brush. I'm gonna make this edge darker. I think. You need help with commands on Mixer? What's happening on Mixer? Bobber Chris, hello! It looks like is my chat picking up that? I'm not sure my chat is picking up that one that Papa Chris said is the first Mixer comment I've seen. And I see Alpha Dog's hanging out over there too. Okay, I think I didn't open my thing. Thanks for letting me know. So I didn't open my chat bot. I'm looking at the screen like that's where my camera is. I didn't open my chat bot. So sorry about that, Renee. That's why it's none of that is working. How you doing, Papa Chris? I hope you're doing great. Happy Monday. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, my chatbot might be working now. Try it out, let me know. It should be there. I'm doing pretty good. I'm in a good mood for a Monday back to work day. Let's see. Let's add our highlights over here to this side. So I'm gonna use this one, and I'm gonna go more of a yellow. So let's get some yellow on here. Time to spray some water. Paints are starting to dry. I don't want them to do that because I did use some big clumps here. So I gotta keep spraying water on there to keep it from going. It works now. Awesome. Fantastic. Peter, hello. How are you doing today? Welcome, welcome. If you guys are seeing something weird here, I'm trying to cover it with my hair, but that's my other earbud. I can't have them both in because they don't stay, but if I plug one in and then just sort of wrap the other one around my ear, it stays for whatever reason. That's the magical combination for me. I do only get audio out of one side though, but it's better than no audio, right? I'm just trying to kind of match what's happening in my reference there. And this dark kind of goes closer to it. So let me grab some more of that. And get that up in there. It kind of blends away. Blender brush time. Thank you for the ice cream! Perfect Joker, hello. Thank you for the lemon. How are you guys doing today? Martin's hanging out on D Live. I appreciate the ice cream and the lemon. I was able to cash in some of my, I'm gonna go with Linos. I've been hearing more people say Linos, so I was able to cash in some of my Linos the other day. You gotta have 2,000 to cash them in, and that was about, that's a little over 20 bucks, which is pretty great. I can get, like, it's just like real money that you guys have tipped to me, and from, I get a bonus for stream stuff too, so I can cash that in every 24 hours after the stream is over. So between that and earning them while I'm watching streams and from you guys, I was able to cash them in and get about 20 bucks, a little over 20 bucks. That's pretty fantastic. Without anybody having to spend any real money, which is really the best part. Blend that in, bring that up. Something like that. I'm looking like a Wolverine myself here with all my brushes running through my fingers. I'm gonna take a little bit of water. Just want to try to push some of this color. I didn't want to add any more color. Yeah, I would not say that any of this music that's been playing sounds like pop music. It just sounds like something you would hear on like a commercial, on a TV commercial. I sent real money, I spent money to give Linos. Well, I appreciate that. Alright, let's see. What do I want to move on to? Let's do... I'm going to do this front area right here. So I'm going to go back into the dark. And this is pretty dark, except for that highlight area. But it's a dark line right here. You can see there's like a dark line and then white. So dark line, like a pale purple. There's like bright yellow at the top. So I'm going to try to stay away from the top area. Let's get this dark color in here. But it does come across like that. This song's got some funk to it. Alright, I'm taking my super small pointy brush We're gonna get that highlight that comes right up here along the top of this. This is a mixture of white and yellow together to give us sort of like a pale yellow. Yeah, this basically comes across the whole thing. Okay, and I'm gonna add a bit more white to it. Brighten this part up a little bit. I can tell if it needs more white because it means it's not covering up the way I want it to. And as I said, like white kind of covers up other paint pretty well, so when I add the yellow to it, if it's not covering up as much as I want it to, then it needs more white. There we go. Okay. Now I'm gonna go get this back edge a little bit darker, so we're gonna go into the black a little bit more. So it's like kind of a purpley black. We're just gonna add this right here. And kind of blend that out. There we go. Okay, let's work on this pipe right here in the back. Now that's mostly bright colors, so I think I need another brush. Let's just get this one. Thank you for the ice cream! Thank you so much. Alright, I'm gonna go with, it's kind of a purple yellow, so let's get some yellow and some purple, let's mix them together, a little bit of white. I need some water. I don't have any more hands free, so gotta hold it with my mouth. Okay, so now this one is pretty light. Add that in like that. And I'm gonna slowly darken that up a little bit. Might be a little too dark still. Okay, let's try this color. We're gonna go here along the edge with this. Okay, now even darker. And this is right there. Okay. Back to blending a little bit. Alright, I did get some purple on the white on this side. I'm not worried about it. I'll just add more white. Yeah, so a few people actually do know, but not from me, from my brother. So I work with my brother, and he casually mentioned it, and somebody asked me about it, but I don't know if anybody actually watches. It's not really something that I talk about at work. Yeah, I don't think I've mentioned it to anybody. Oceana, thank you so much. I appreciate that. If you've been on my Instagram, then you've seen that actually doing stuff like this is sort of new for me. I mostly do a lot of like landscape stuff, which was still, I've only been doing landscape painting for, it's been about a year, and that's just following like the Bob Ross method. Some of those are you know, following along with him, and some of those are original. But yeah, we are now trying to do acrylic stuff, and I'm doing characters. So that's all new, but I think Spider-Man came out really great. So I'm gonna give this one a go. Okay, I need to add some bright whites, so let's switch. Let's see. I'm just gonna try to kind of make it close. Does not have to be perfect. Just as long as it kind of gives the idea. And let's go ahead and clean up that mark. Now I might have to do another coat when it dries. That's okay. You can see right here I painted over something. I'll just do another coat right now. That's just straight white to kind of cover that up and hide it. And then when it dries, I'll figure out what to do with that area. But for now, we're just hiding mistakes. Mistakes happen. It's okay too. Alright, I now need, I need it basically black. Okay. I gotta do those curves in the pipe. Not black enough. I think I just had too much purple on the brush. There we go. And one right up here. Better. It's crazy how just like a little touch of, you know, color can really change something. If you guys remember what this pipe looked like before we started, it didn't look that great. But now it's looking pretty good. Ah! And I almost always drop one brush while painting. I should have a counter so that every time I drop a brush we can just count it. Oh, I'm super excited about Game of Thrones. Yeah, we were talking about that last time. I cannot wait. No spoilers, though, for anybody that hasn't watched it or is not caught up or whatever. So just say that I'm excited and leave it at that. Okay, I think I'm going to do this part right there. It's like there's this little tube coming along here, and there's something behind it. So let's do that. That's mostly pretty dark, so... let's get my base color down. This is pretty. This little guitar melody. I like it. Alright, we got our base color in. I'm gonna start to make it, let's add a little bit of white up here. It's like a hair. That's not even the brush that I dropped on the floor. So I'm gonna make this area a little bit lighter. So before it dries, I'm adding this. And then I'm gonna switch to my other brush. And let's kind of blend that out. Gotta move pretty quick. At least I feel like I do. I feel like my paint dries extra fast compared to like other people's that I've watched. But yeah, it seems like it to me. Alright, let's go darker. And come down here. straight black. Right there, just like that. There you go. That's what takes so long, is doing all those little gradients of color. Alright. My white and yellow have mixed dried, so let's make a new mix. White and yellow together. So you can keep this one from drying. I mean, it wasn't a big spot, but it was a spot. Okay. I need to touch this up. Right there. And this one's a little strange. Because there's like a line that comes across. That. Right area. Something like that. Is there hair on this one? I think this is the one I dropped. Which is good because I'm not actually keeping paint on this. I'm just kind of blending with it. Got a little bit of water. There is a hair on it. There we go. Alright, now, I used water on that to kind of help spread the paint around. So before I paint anymore, I'm just gonna let that dry. So let's move back over here and get this. Let's see, do I have this one? Okay, I'm like, I know I have one that I'm using for light colors. Alright, so we're gonna add all of these details back in. Now that this stuff's dried up, come right across. Get some more paint. Trying to get like a smoother line. For whatever reason, my line here is not very smooth. Might need some more water. I don't want too much because I want this to be pretty crisp. I want this to be a pretty crisp line. If it's not flowing, it might need just a little bit. And then this is a pretty large area. Pretty large highlight right here. Now does it come in front of that? I don't know. It just hangs out over here. BD, thanks for the host. How are you doing? Happy Monday. Guys, PT Barpun is an awesome streamer. Go follow her. She's on Mixer. And I think, are you also streaming on DLive? I haven't seen you live on there, but I feel like you were going to, or you, I mean, you definitely talked about it on Twitter because of Mixer's policies when it comes to skin showing for body painting. But yeah, go follow her, guys. She's a fantastic streamer. She does body painting stuff. And it's just incredible what she can do. You do indeed. Nice, nice. I thought maybe you had. I just hadn't seen you live on there. But I think you stream mostly when I'm at work, so. Well, I'm glad everybody's doing great. That's just fantastic. Heck, Bog, hello. Can I play Apex? I have not played Apex yet at all. I think I did install it. I mean, it's free, so why not? But I haven't played it at all. This is definitely gonna... It's gonna be a while before we finish this. I know it might not look like it, but just doing all these little details, I mean, it does take a while. Let's see how long we've been streaming for an hour today, and I've just done like that. And it's because I'm really working on getting all these details in here, and I mean, that stuff just takes time. So if you're thinking Apex is gonna happen tonight, it's not gonna happen. I imagine that this is probably going to still be a while before we even finish it. I mean, I still have to do the man himself, and I'm hoping today to get most of the Sentinel done, which I don't even know if that's going to happen, because it's already been an hour, and I've done a little bit. haven't crossed out much yet so far, but, I mean, that's just part of what happens when you're trying to get a lot of detail into a painting. I just see something that I want to kind of fix. I don't have a whole lot of other variations in color here, so let's add that. Something like that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of color on the outside of this, just so that it stands out, because it's really not. Very light. I want everything to have its own individual shape. I'm not sure if that's really being picked up, so I'm going to put very, very light line against the outside of that. Hopefully it doesn't mess up all of our highlights that we did. And I think it looks okay. Now, there was something I was working on over here, and I was waiting for it to dry before I touched it, and I think it was this tube. I mean, I don't know what that is, but I think that's what it was, so let's get that going. Alright, pick up this brush, and I'm gonna go, yeah, just purple, basically. And let's add this in right here. Out like that. And this goes all the way down here, so let's add all that in. Twinkly Sun, thanks for the follow. Happy Monday. We're painting Wolverine. I'd be surprised, but if anybody doesn't know who Wolverine is, he is an X-Man. Very, very popular. Even before the movies came out, although he wasn't my favorite. I grew up on the 90s cartoon TV show, and my favorite was Storm. I thought she was just awesome, and I think she was second in command after Cyclops. She had some really cool powers. She could control the weather and fly. And I really felt like they didn't do a good job on her in the movies. She really wasn't very important, first of all. And then she didn't really do a whole lot. And some of her lines were dumb. They're just dumb. There's one line where she says to Toad, this is Halle Berry, and she says to Toad, "Do you know what happens when a toad gets struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else." Like, what? That was so stupid. Like, what kind of line is that? Oh, Doctor Who would be really cool. I would love to do like some kind of cool TARDIS painting sometime. Let's see, you always like Wolverine, but he's not your favorite. Yeah, I think that's how I felt. I liked him, but he wasn't my favorite. A bit of a nerd. Hey, that's what I think I am too. Yeah, not in the movies. I did not. Let's see, Peter says, I don't know much. I think I learned the most from that TV show, which I know isn't as good as like reading the comics and stuff like that, but that's like what got me into it. Like that cartoon show, I mean, it was so fantastic. And then there was, I mean, Batman had his own show. Spider-Man had his own show. I think there was an Iron Man show. I said Iron Man show. I watched the Batman show a bit, but Spider-Man was always my favorite. I just thought his powers were the coolest. Okay. Alright, I went a little bit lighter. We're gonna work on our highlights here. But this isn't our super, super bright highlights. I'm just trying to add in that gradient. Everything dried. See if I can bring some of this stuff back to life. I can. A little bit of water, and sometimes you can save a bit of your paint. Okay. Let's get some white. So right now, I'm not trying to add our bright, bright highlight. I'm just trying to sort of add, I don't know, a bit of a gradient, because that's how light works. It's not just one color and then bam, shadow, or bam, highlight. Like, light transitions unless there's something blocking it or something allowing it in. Then you'll see, like, the definite stuff. Like, if I set my hand, like, you know, if you put your hand out, cast a shadow. Shadows can create definite, like, strong darks, but anything else where it's just got shape and texture, it's usually a gradient. Oh, I do love Doctor Who. What do you think of the newest Doctor? Personally, I think she's fantastic. I'm so behind on American Horror Story. I think I've seen 3 or 4 seasons. Iceman, hello! How are you doing? How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Hanging out over on D-Live. Renee, I just saw that you were going to time me out because Wolverine wasn't my favorite. Nope. Spider-Man is my overall favorite superhero. Not in the movies. I would say probably Captain America in the current movies that are out. But just in general, from like my whole life, I loved Spider-Man. He's a little young for me in the movies, which, I mean, I know he's supposed to be in high school. But yeah, I have a little bit of a hard time relating to the new character, although I think that actor is doing a fantastic job with Spider-Man. But he seems a little too young for me. And I don't mean romantically. I'm not, like, that's out of the question. I just mean just in general, he's a little young for me to relate to. But I think he's doing a good job, that actor is. But yeah, in the movies, I think Captain America is my favorite. But I also really like Black Widow. And I think she's supposed to be getting her own movie soon, which I'm really excited for. I hope it's about her backstory, because I think, like, we really don't know a whole lot about her. I would love to know more about her story. So I'm going into black right now. Just draw in this line, basically. Thank you for the follow. No one cares. Hey, I care. If nobody else cares, I care. Bring that around right there. I feel like we have heard this song before, but there's just so many that sound very similar. This playlist has a lot of songs that sound like they belong in a commercial on the TV. I feel this song is like an animal commercial where they're like showing dogs running around chasing balls and stuff. That's what this commercial would be good for. Leaner Buckle. Hope I'm saying that right. Thanks for the follow. How are you doing today? Wow, that's a lot of Batman stuff. Waiting for him to spin his web so they can fly. What? I feel like I missed something. Artwork looks good. Thank you, Iceman. I appreciate that. Martin's headed to bed. Oh, he was sad that you were gonna time me out. If you're still here, Martin, if you haven't left yet, have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the ice creams. Get some rest. Alright. I know it's probably late for you, but it's actually a little bit early for me, technically, because of daylight savings. Okay. Now, I think I'm gonna go with my highlights. So I'm gonna go with white and yellow a little bit. Mostly white. A little bit of yellow. There's like a tiny bit of purple mixed in there, but that's kind of going away. It's just because my brush was a little bit dirty. I don't clean out my brushes too much with this. Kind of just blend everything on top of each other. Carry this right around here. Alright, done. Okay, let's move on to this one. So I'm gonna go with, let's use this brush. And I need to make a light color, so let's get some light color. Be white. I actually need to clean this brush. Getting too much gunk buildup on it, and it started to dry, so that's no good. I don't know what this song is that's playing. I'm tempted to pick a different playlist. I'm pretty sure I clicked the pop one. This doesn't sound like pop to me. Okay, let's see. It all just sounds like commercial tunes. This is the soundtrack of every commercial ever. Okay. Let's add that in. I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow to that. Maybe a little bit more, because that didn't do anything. Blend those together. And then, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of cover everything with that. That could be basically our base color. Except for this edge. I don't want to go too close to that because there are some bright whites there. So I'm gonna let those whites do their own thing. Alright. Let's see. I need to go darker. Let's use this color, and we're gonna go right here with that. Something like that. And then let's get this edge too. This is going to end up getting darker. It's kind of like a pink color right now, which isn't exactly what we want. But we're going to work up in layers. So let's add a little bit more black and purple. And bring that down. I'm just trying to go kind of like lightly darker each time. I don't want to go too dark and then it be too dark, because then it's going to be really hard to lighten up from there. But going slowly darker will eventually get to as dark as what I'm looking for without going too dark. have this brush I used to just kind of blend things in. I'm gonna push that like that. Let's see. Get a little bit of color. Just kind of put it over there. I think, let's see, let's go a little bit of water to kind of help push around some of this color. So water will thin it out and help me move it a little bit. Now, I think I should sort of wait for that to dry because I added water to it. It's going to be very thin. It's going to be hard to paint on top of. So I'm going to let that bit dry. Let's move over somewhere else. Let's come over. I guess let's come over here. I've got some areas to fill in. So I've already got white and yellow on here, which is what I need, I think. So let's fill in some of this. This is sort of like background here, showing through. Making sure it looks like what I want. I think I'm still gonna have to touch up those little, I don't know if these are wires or whatever. I think I'm gonna probably have to do some touching up on them. So let's get a bit more white. This white covers up better. And I can see like, it's showing like my under sketch. Because what I painted up here isn't dark enough, so it's still showing my under sketch, and I don't want that to be visible, so we'll just use some white to kind of cover it up, and when the white dries I can make it a little bit more yellow, because that's the color it's supposed to be. I feel like there's still a hair on this. So that's what it was. I was having a conversation with somebody about Disney buying something, so Disney bought Fox, okay. Let's see. Oh, that's fantastic. I am no good with Reaper. He doesn't have very good distance, so you have to get up in there, and I'm not good at getting away with him. I know he can do his, like, teleport thing, but I can't, I don't know. I'm not good at it, but I know, I remember King likes Reaper a lot. I've definitely had like some good players just like murder me with him too, so I know that Reaper's got some good potential. Let's get our line right here. And for now, I'm just gonna use purple with this. Something like that. Was this a dragon claw? Thank you so much for the host. How are you doing today? My list is so far. I'm like, what does that say? Thank you for the host. I appreciate it. Happy Monday. How's it going? Hopefully you're having a great day. My day's pretty good. I get to paint with you fine folks. Alright, let's go into our light color here. So now that this has had a chance to dry, I can come in with my highlights. Everything over here is pretty bright. A little bit of starting to get dry. Thank you for the post. Krispy Kreme, how are you doing today? We're working on Wolverine. I almost said Spider-Man. In my head I said Spider-Man. I was like, nope, that's not right. We did that already. Guys, if you are interested in anything, my Etsy page is up and ready. I don't have a lot of stuff on there yet, but we'll get there as it goes, but it is up and ready. I've got a few paintings on there. You can order original canvas paints. You can order prints of some things that I've done. Prints that, like digital copies that you can print out yourself and keep, or you can order hard copy prints that I will sign and mail to you. If you guys are interested in that, you want to check out my Etsy page. And as I paint more and more stuff, we'll get more and more stuff on there. This painting is currently unclaimed. If you're interested in it, if there's anything, if you guys ever want something custom done, you can feel free to message me on Discord. And I can work with you to try to get what you want done. Go. Fat Mug Rancher, thanks for the follow. Nice name. Made me laugh. Appreciate the laughs. Right. Let's try to kind of clean up that line a little bit there. Okay. So a little bit of water, some dark color. And I'm going to try to blend this out a little bit. Got sort of a crisp line there. Don't want that. Just kind of blend that away. Alright, after that dries, we'll see where we're at. See where we're at. Deep forest pond? What? Can you hang them up? Yeah. I mean, you can do whatever you want with them. You could, I guess, use tape and put them somewhere, or you could mat them on, I don't know what that material's called. I don't know if that's poster board or something. I think it might be poster board. You can mat it on poster board and hang that up. You can thumbtack it to your wall. You could put it in a frame. The prints are the size of a normal piece of paper. So what is that? 8.5 by 11. So you can easily just hop that in a frame if you wanted to and hang that up. And like, there's lots of places where you can get cheap frames up. Feather mask. Oh, okay. On my Etsy, you like the deep forest pond. That is actually right here. Might have messed up my camera. Oh well, I'll fix it. So, I got the deep forest pond right here. This is an original. I came up with the concept myself and I painted it during October last year. It was supposed to be sort of like a kind of spooky Halloween type thing, but I don't think it came out spooky. I just really like it. So yeah, that is still available. Alright, let me see if I can fix my camera. Should be facing kind of this way. Still getting a line. I don't know if that is from my green screen. Yeah, I think so. Sorry for my big head right in the way of the other camera. Think we're good. Think we're good. Think we're good. God, you guys are enjoying it. Yeah. Most of my stuff, most of my paintings I think I have in Discord. So Not all of my paintings are up on Etsy. If there's anything I posted in Discord that you might like, let me know. Some of it's available. Some of it I've already sold. Some of it I painted over. I do have other things. Just what I put on Etsy right now are like my favorites. But doesn't mean that's all I have. 7 of 7, thank you for the follow. How are you doing today? Appreciate that. Now, I believe you do creative steams too, right? Like, I think you like to draw. Pretty sure I've seen some of your drawings and stuff before. Very, very talented. Some great stuff. Just stuck my hand in the paint. Always happens. At least once. I'm pretty sure that's been twice now, though. Okay, so I think this stuff has dried up a little bit. So that means I can play. All right, I'm gonna get some black now. So I want to make this line a little bit darker. Okay, and I think I want to go a little darker down here too. This sounds kind of reggae. I'm not an expert on music though, so. You get a touch of water. Too much, too much. Paper towel. Okay. Right. Back to my highlight color. Let's go like this. Just kind of enhance those lines a little bit. And then I want to go, is my darker one? Yeah. I want to get pretty dark. Maybe not just black. That's what I went into. Let's go with a little purple black. And kind of make this edge stand out a little bit better. Something like that. Alright, now, I want to clean up this background spot. I've got some paint popping out here, so let's clean all this up. And I'm going to continue this color down here too. Kind of hard to tell in my reference. My printer isn't the best, so I definitely lost some color in my reference when I've turned it out. But add a little bit of white to that. Just kind of clean this up here a little bit better. I like that. Okay. I'm gonna come in here and do the same thing. Maybe a little more white. A little more white. The yellow isn't strong enough on its own to cover stuff, so when I add white to it, white helps it cover up a little bit better. Okay, just get rid of some of this color. I think I want to, let's just use this brush. I've already got 3 brushes in my hand to kind of blend out some of this stuff. This isn't the best brush for covering like a big area like this, but I've already got a bunch of stuff in my hand. Okay, let's get, I'm gonna clean this brush up. This brush will work better, but it's got gunk on it. that's good. All right, I'm gonna go into mostly white, a touch of yellow, and little bit of water, little bit of water. I know I have heard this in a commercial, one of those like people waking up commercials or cartoons or something. So funny how we can hear like one sound and know like, oh yeah, that's the song that they play when people wake up from something. So I added a little bit of yellow, and so right now I'm just trying to kind of blend that in here. Let's get a little bit more. If you guys are hearing something strange, that's my puppy. Okay, I don't want to take this yellow out too far because there's definitely like white right there. But I want to add it in a little bit. And let's come back down here and add it. Okay. I think that looks better. I want it right there too. There we go. Alright, I think I like that. Renee says booyah. You just won. Nice win. I would much rather pet them though and hold them. Aw. You hear it all the time on YouTube? Yeah, my entry song. I hear it a lot too. It's a free song on on this channel on one of their lists, and it's really easy to find. It's like one of their first ones, which is why I found it so easy. So I think a lot of people grab it and use it too. Been thinking about changing it, but I almost feel like at this point, like people just know that song and think of me when they hear it. So I don't know. And I still really like it, which is pretty incredible being like how long I've been using that song. You'd think I would have got tired of it, but I still think it's pretty cool. Oh, I'll give Dylan cuddles. Let's see. Peter says I get to every day. Yeah, well, it's pretty great working with all the dogs. Thanks for the lemon on D-Line, Renee. Don't change it. It's my song. You're right, it is my song. I've been using it for a long time. Alright, I think we're okay. I mean, our pipes and stuff are really starting to come together. I need to fix those up. They have a lot more white areas in them. So let's go into a bit of yellow and a bit of white. Let's add our highlights to this. Right there. I think I want to cover this up. Let's just cover that up. Yeah, I think I like that better. It's hard to work right here because all the colors look pretty similar. I'm going to add a little bit of red. It looks like there's a little bit of red in there in the reference. Let's give it a touch of water. Okay, hopefully this red will kind of change things. We'll see. It's very pink now though. Yeah, I think it's too pink. Let's get some black. I don't want black to make it dark. I want black to gray it out. So it's not just pink, pink, pink. Kind of like a purpley pink. think that helps. Something like that. And then let's go very white. Kind of helps separate things a little bit, that pink color, because everything right here was like very yellow and white, so stuff wasn't really showing up the way I wanted it to. Let's just fix this. Something there happening that I don't like. Alright. I'm gonna clean up my brushes a little bit. It's been a while since I've cleaned them all. I had like 4 brushes in my hands going. Last one. Alright, let me just wet my paints. I still have quite a bit. So I've still got pretty good globs here. Oh, okay, let's move on. We've got a couple more pipes over here. Pipes or tubes, whatever. I don't know what they are. Got a couple more. Is this the brush I want to use? No. I'll use this one. Let me keep this one for blending. Okay. Oh, purring. No kill shelter. That's fantastic. Yeah, the shelter that I got most of my animals, they were from a no kill shelter in Denver. Am I painting over the yellow? What yellow? Healed Kitty, thanks for the follow. You're awful no kill. Yeah, me too. Me too. That's where I got, yeah, most of my babies. I got Blue, Dylan, and Grimly, all from that same place. Riley I already had. Lily I found at a different shelter that was doing an event at PetSmart, so she was actually at a PetSmart event. And then Asami was a stray I took in. She's a kitty cat. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna do this back one. So I think it would be darker. So let's go with some dark colors here. Some black, some purple. Teeny tiny bit of white. Teeny tiny bit of white. Maybe a little bit of red. There we go. Okay. Now I'm gonna kind of make up where the shadows and the highlights are because this is not in my reference. I'm gonna say that they are here. And let's just bring that out. Where's my colors? Over here. It paused, I think. It does that sometimes. I don't know why. Easy fix. some more of that color and just bring it in. Something like that. I don't know. There'd probably be like other like highlights and stuff, but I don't know where they would be. What? Sorry, guys. Don't even know who that was. Some random number. Ah! I really do almost drop a brush all the time. Okay, I'm gonna add some extra red, a little bit of white. We're gonna mix this in right here. Get that gradient going. Just a touch of water, not too much. And let's blend this out. Add some right there. A little bit there. And while this is still wet and while there's water on the brush, I can kind of push the paint, which is pretty nice. Alright, let's get some, wrong brush. Wrong brush. Okay. Let's get some yellow in there. A little yellow. A little white. Kind of makes like a dirty color, but it's fine. Let's throw this in up here. And let's blend that in there with it. Okay. Liking that so far. Alright, I think it's time for the whites. I'm gonna use a new brush. This one. Is this brush clean? It is. Alright. So this is going to be basically pure white. There's a little bit of other colors that I'm picking up just because my palette's kind of a mess, but basically pure white right here. Touch of water. I can tell if it's not flowing the way I want, you either need more water or more paint, or both. Gotta keep your colors, I don't know if I want to say that word. I was gonna say like wet, but I don't know if that's, you don't really have to, I suppose. It's just something that, I don't know. From what I've been learning as I've been doing this, it really helps if you do. If you want to blend pretty good, then you definitely need to. Okay. Alright, let's go with this one. Now I gotta put in, you know, I don't think it has these lines. I'm not sure it's the same type of tube, and I don't see any over here. I think it might just be like a straight pipe, but it might have like stuff on it because like There's something right here, there's something right there. So I think I'm just gonna like add some details and just gonna make it up because I don't know. I mean, this isn't on my reference. This is just something that I've added because it would be there. So let's just add some stuff. I'm gonna say that this pipe right here probably comes up. Then maybe it connects to something else back. So let's throw that into something like that. Dom, thank you so much for the follow. How's it going? Happy Monday. Guys, if you guys are new, I'm Ducky. You can call me Ducky. And we are painting Wolverine today. Well, probably not actually himself, but our painting is about Wolverine. So Wolverine is an X-Men and he is just ripped the head off of the Sentinel. And we are painting that. A little bit of some color right there. Clean this. There we go. All right. Okay. Now let's go darker. Much darker. Right now I'm just adding some random details. I don't know what would really be here. So we're just adding some stuff. Let's switch brushes. Let's go dark. Pretty sure there would be stuff on this. Don't know exactly what, but something would be there. Alright, let's get some whites. Well, the yellow is going to show up. Not too bad. Alright, let's go straight black. Alright, there's something there. I don't know what it is, but there's something there because I feel like something would be there. Yesterday was Mario Day. That's a thing. That's pretty crazy. I had no idea that that was like a real thing. Mario Day. Who'd have known? Alright. What's in this brush? Dark. Let's just get rid of that. I'm gonna add some white and some yellow together. Something like that. Alright, that's just gonna be there because I said so. I feel like I'm done with that. Let's do this one. This is gonna be our last little pipe thing. Yay! or the last little pipe thingy. Okay, I'm gonna go, let's get a purple, sort of a dark purple. And this one's kind of weird because there's like a highlight right here, like a flat kind of color, and then very dark with a slight highlight at the bottom, and then a very bright highlight at the top. So I'm gonna stay away from the very top and kind of the middle because there's a highlight coming around it. Let's see, how dark is this? I think this would be a good color to put in right there. And I've got a good amount of this too, so I'm just gonna add this here. Yeah, let's just bring this on down. And I'm pretty sure that this highlight is getting like smaller and smaller. So let's make this bigger and then smaller. I want to go higher with this. Left too much room for a highlight. That's way too big. So let's bring this up a little bit. Yeah, it's looking better. Okay. Alright, let's work this on the bottom now. Now this will be getting darker as I go, because this part gets quite dark. So I'm all caught up on Netflix with Lucifer. I finished season 3, so now I gotta find a new show. I don't know what I'm gonna watch. I mean, there's just so much stuff. I kind of put on Nurse Jackie while I was playing The Sims. Netflix recommended it to me as a comedy. That show is not a comedy at all. I was very confused. I'm like, why does Netflix think that this show is a comedy? There's like, it's not funny at all. It's like, I mean, it's a serious like drama, like Grey's Anatomy or something. I mean, it's a serious drama, and like some people are having like a rough time of it on that show. I don't know if anybody's like checked it out, but if Netflix tries to trick you that it's a comedy, don't fall for it, because I did. It is not a funny movie. Netflix lies. It lies. If you guys are looking for something funny, watch Nailed It. You'll be cracking your head off, especially if you watch it with my dad after he's had a few. You will be laughing so hard. My dad is the best. Livestreamers are starting to dress as Mario. That's pretty cute. They just sell stuff for cheaper. Interesting. Alright, so this needs to go even darker here. So let's add a bit of black and throw some red in there. And some purple. So I'm just like mixing this up right here. You guys can see how messy my palette gets. And like, look, like, I mean, this is dry. That's dry. Not all of it is. You can, I don't know if you can tell, but like that shinier stuff is wet, but this stuff is completely dry. It dries pretty quickly. Okay, so this is darker. And we're just gonna throw this in down here. I'm not gonna take this all the way to the bottom, because there is definitely refracted or reflected, I forget which word it is, but there's a little bit of highlight bouncing in. That's an important highlight that people tend to forget about, is like things are round and have shape, So even though there's highlight up here, most people would just assume this is all black down here, but that's not true at all. Light will still bounce back and hit this edge, so there's always like a reflected highlight even on the shadow side. That's a very important detail for anybody that's interested in like painting or drawing. Keep that in mind. If you study round objects, you will learn that. That's a big thing that people do when they're trying to draw something that's round, like a metal ball or something. It's a common sketching thing for people to draw as like a round object. Do not forget about that reflected light on the shadow side. It will really make it look correct if you have that in there. All right, clean this brush. All right, it's time to go. Let's get some yellow. Now, I don't know if you can see right there where I put yellow on top of purple. You can still see the purple. That's what I'm talking about, how like yellow doesn't cover stuff up very well. It doesn't. I mean, that's just how yellow is. But I'm not too worried about that right now. I want to get kind of like a light pink color, actually. So we need another shade going here. It's too drastic. So I'm not being super careful about this because I'm going to take some water and push this color around where I really need it. So I just need to get it there. As long as it's there and I've got water on my brush, I can work with it. So it didn't have to be anywhere in particular. So I'm just gonna kind of blend with this. See, this song I like. This is more like a poppy song. Less Cheerio commercial. More poppy. There we go. See what I mean? A little water on the brush, a little paint there, and then you can push it around and blend with it. Really cool. Okay. I'm gonna take that kind of same color. We're gonna use that for our reflected light because it's not a super bright white. Add some water to that. It's starting to dry. It's definitely not the purest highlight. It's just a reflected highlight. So it doesn't have to be white. Just a little bit lighter than the rest of it. There's also like a line right here. Let's see. I think I need to go more yellow. I need to clean this brush. And this is just white. You can clean these brushes off. White? Water. You can clean these brushes off with just water, which is pretty fantastic. That's a complaint you hear a lot about oils, is that oils use chemicals for brush cleaning. And some of those chemicals can be toxic if you're breathing them in. If you want to avoid that, there is water-soluble oil paint that you can get and try. I've never used any of that myself, but I know it is an option. Or there's just acrylic or water paint. Watercolor. Yeah, Grey's Anatomy, I watched a little bit of it. I had a roommate at one point that was like in love with that show, and I watched a little bit of it with her, and then like when I would leave, she would keep watching it. That's why I'd come back and I wouldn't know what's happening, so, I mean, that kind of bothered me, but... So it follows like a bunch of like new doctors at a hospital, and just like what happens to them and their drama and, you know, the type of patient. It's just a hospital show, like Nurse Jackie, probably like ER. I don't think I ever watched ER, but I'm assuming it's something similar like that. People tend to like hospital shows. Now we're back to the commercial music. Okay, so I've got more white now. And let's come in here and do some highlighting. I'm hoping you guys can see the difference between highlighting with white, like what we're doing right now, versus that darker light color that we did at the bottom. So this would be getting much more direct light. It's much more of a direct highlight. And I do want to blend out just the tip edge of that. So a little tiny bit of water. Just blending out the bottom edge, not the top edge. I want the top edge to stay nice. Bottom edge, I want to blend a little bit there. Okay. I think I'm gonna do my lines. Let's do a different brush here. Let's use this one. I'm gonna go into, it's already started to dry. All right, just go into some black. And I can't tell where these lines are supposed to be, so I'm just gonna make them up. And hopefully I can keep them at a good distance from themselves. A couple little practice swings, and then let's just go for it. Something like that. I don't think I'm using the best brush for this. I combine those words and said a lady part. Don't think I'm using the best brush for this. So let's switch. Alright, I'm gonna use this brush. It has more of like a point, and I can work with that. So sorry, wake it up. Started to dry and the bristles were getting hard. Water. Okay. Too much water. And I can see a big water glob on there. Too much water. Okay. Let's see. Right here. Right there. Those aren't perfectly spaced, but I think it looks pretty good for eyeballing it. trying to make those kind of actually look like what they are. It's little indents instead of just lines. So I'm just gonna kind of like work with them for a little bit here. They start looking right. Okay, yeah, looks pretty good. Alright, let's clean that off. Got paint on my finger again. How do I keep doing that? I don't know. It just keeps happening. There's a spin-off show to Grey's Anatomy. Didn't know that. Save the Bell I know a little bit about. I mean, I definitely used to watch the original. I think I watched College a little bit, and I know there was like another spin-off where like Screech went back to like work for Mr. Belding. Didn't watch that one. Yes, Girls Meets World. I've seen like an episode of that. It's on Netflix. And they brought back Corey and Topanga, which is pretty incredible. I feel like people would have been upset if they hadn't, though. But you don't often see stars like that come back to the show, and the fact that they got both of them to come back, I mean, that's pretty cool. Alright, I am mixing some white and some yellow together. And let's add some of our highlights around these guys. I'm doing this pretty lightly. Got a little too much, so I'm gonna take some water, kind of push it away. There we go. Water also used kind of like an eraser. You saw it here, folks. Okay, I'm just gonna add just a little bit more detail. Just kind of here and there. I might do that to this one up here. I mean, this one up here, without those things, it doesn't have a whole lot going for it. Give it a little bit of character. Let's go on this other side here too. So I switched my light color to some black. So this will stand out a little bit against this dark purple. At least it should. Nothing looks like it's coming off my brush. Come on, black. Do some red. I think that helped a bit. Think so. Gives it some character, some detail. I like it. I think it's good. I think I'm done over there. Alright. Whew. His face. Man, I've been nervous about this. I'm not sure how it's gonna come out. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it. Looking pretty good. Thanks, Wolverine. I appreciate that. A lot of the old 80s and 90s show, they try to reboot. They do, but they like to reboot everything. I remember the Hawaii one. I actually really liked that because it had like the original cast though, and then they also picked up like Lima Reddy. I don't know. I'm probably butchering that name. She's got her own show now about surviving Scientology. But she was on there. She was like Zach's love interest for a little while. They all went to like work at a like a resort in Hawaii for I think a summer, and he met her there, and she had a daughter in the show. That's pretty cool. I liked it when they were there. I like that one. Let's see. All right, I'm just come over here. That's gonna be much darker. Much darker, and especially up here. It's quite dark up here. So there is like a highlight right there on the edge, so I'm trying to keep that in mind. Let's go darker still. I mean, this is like almost black right here. Just kind of let that come out here and sort of fade out. Some little canvas spots that are not picking up paint. Just jab it. Just jab it. This is a very strange song right now. Okay, so I added a little bit of red. Sort of more pink now. And that's okay. And again, I'm not worried about his, like, I know we like covered it and looks kind of funky. We'll actually be working on Wolverine later. Future date. Because see, now it's like 8:15. Yeah, we're not gonna get to him today. Let's see. There's like I don't know what that is. It's like a round thing right there. But there's definitely a highlight that comes over here, and I covered up some of it. So let's get into some white. Looks like it actually kind of comes down like that. So let's do that. Just color all that in. We'll be able to get over that later. Okay. Alright, I want to make this more dark. My brush and start over. It has too much white in it. It wasn't making a dark color. So let's go more dark. Right here. This is a very dark shadow right there. There's some like kind of like weird highlights happening, but dark comes down right there. Thank you for the follow. No? Is that not scrolling down? I know that's the follow sound over on D Live. But there's nothing there. Weird. I don't know. The duck notification came out, but I don't see anything in chat. If somebody's there and you follow, thank you so much. I'd like to shout you out, but nothing is showing up for me. Okay, something like that. We've got a pretty bright highlight, so I'm gonna go into some white, a touch of red. This is gonna go right there. And then I'm gonna add this along the edge here. And we'll be going over this probably with like some white or something, but just to give it a different color. All these colors, like working in layers is I don't know, it's a good idea. I like how things come out when I work in layers. Alright, go like that. I'm gonna move on. Some of the rest of it is helmet here. So, gosh, this part is really dark right here. So, let's do some purples and some blacks. Sure, why not some red? It'll all come out looking pretty dark. Bring that down. This doesn't have a whole lot of variation in color right here. It's mostly all just light. And there is like a bolt or something. I don't know what that is. Some type of round thing. I'm not going to worry about leaving the space for it. I'm just going to go in with white after this dries and it'll show up on top, no problem. Sometimes I leave the space, but making that circle is going to be a little more hard if I'm just making it by painting around the negative area. So this time I'm just going to paint on top. What? Oh. It's these things. I had a voice was saying battery low. I'm like, what's low? That's my earbuds. Getting a little low. I didn't charge them too well. That scared me. Alright, let's see. Let's go with this. This one does a much finer point. That's helpful. Because I want to go with a very bright color here. Making sure I'm not putting my hand in anything wet. I don't think I am. There's sort of like a lip right here, and the highlight comes back down. I think I need to color that in. I have so many brushes in my hands. I'm gonna color that in with black. That looks really dark down here. I'm gonna go ahead and just color this in. It's really dark, like to about here. It's all just like a straight dark color. Right about the corner of his eye. I think there's too much water in my brush because the paint's flowing pretty good. And it's not actually what I want this time for a dark color. I want it to actually lay there. But I can do another layer if I have to. Might need that to dry so I can do another layer. I think it's too much water on there somehow. I didn't spray that part, but there's water there. Did I ever see that show, Phineas and Ferb? I have not seen it, but I've definitely heard of it. It's animated, right? I'm actually excited for Frozen 2. There was a preview for Frozen 2 when I went to see Captain Marvel. It didn't tell you anything what it was about. It just showed some clips and played some music. There was no dialogue. I don't know what the story is about, but I did enjoy Frozen. It would be nice to have some new songs. I mean, and the animation is fantastic. I'm curious what's going to happen. Yeah, so they are battery powered. I have a cord. I have a USB cord that I, like, plug this into. There's, like, little thing right here that the cord goes plugged into. And I think they're supposed to last for, like, 6 hours or something. Maybe not quite that long. But I hadn't charged them from the last time I used this, so the last time we painted, they were just sitting on my desk. So when I got home from work, I plugged them in. So they charged for maybe 30 minutes before the stream started. Not very long at all. Alright, what brush was I using? Not that one. Not that one. What was I painting, actually? Oh yeah, blacks. It might have actually been this brush. Okay. I think that stuff is probably dried. So let's do a second coat right here. This playlist is so weird. It's like 1 second you get like a campy commercial sounding song, and now we're getting like EDM. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, back to my highlights. Because now it'll actually kind of show up. Keep the paints from drying. I think I did squeeze out too much paint. That stuff goes pretty far when I'm not covering large areas, just doing a lot of like detail work. Let's see. I think I wanna color this stuff in a little bit better. Fill in the holes. All these like little holes there. There we go. It's a bit better. Okay. Alright, so I got a big clump on there. I don't want to use that, because then my line will be way too big. And that is not what I want. Okay, I'm doing this very lightly, because I'm worried about messing up. Just gonna put that right there. Okay, let's get a touch of purple. There we go. Something like that. Wipe this off. Alright, let's go to the next one. The happy song. Alright, let's get that bit darker. So add in some black. And I think, let's bring this right here too. Might have to touch up that highlight line if I mess up. Hopefully I don't. Yeah, right here. Let's fill that in. And let's see. This actually starts to get a little bit lighter, but there's a dark color right there. And then this dark color definitely comes up like that. So I should color all that in. And then from there, the color changes. It gets a lot lighter. So here we go. Got a lighter color. Let's throw that in. Okay. Now, I need to blend that. We're gonna go lighter right here. The song is like part Tetris. I used to play Tetris on my phone. I got so into it. I got pretty good too. This was like, I don't know, this was several years ago. I probably would be so bad at it now, but I didn't have, this was like before there was like a lot of different games that you could play on your phone. But I did get Tetris, and I would play it all the time when I was waiting around or bored or something. I know my battery's low. Aw, it cut out. It's not just low, it cut out. So I can no longer hear anything. So if I miss a follow or some type of notification, I'm really sorry. I will try to continue to look occasionally. Might as well take this out since I don't need it now. It's stuck on my hair. There we go. Okay. Hopefully you guys are still enjoying the music. I can't hear it anymore, but it wasn't too bad. Let's bring this I'm gonna get a little bit of water. And let's push some of this color around. Something like that. Now I want to add a little bit of red to that. Right in here. And up there. Down here. I'm just adding the color and I'm gonna blend that in. That's why my strokes right there weren't too thoughtful, because I was planning on blending them in anyways, so. Just had to kind of be in the right area. Didn't have to be perfect. Right. Let's go. I need to fix up that darker area. It's not super dark anymore, but that line is definitely solid in the reference, so I'm gonna keep that pretty dark. gonna do some touching up. There's all these little places where the canvas is showing through the paint. That means probably that my gesso wasn't so good right there. I treat the canvases before I start painting with gesso to help the canvas from absorbing the color. So wherever I can see that it did absorb the color, I'm just going to assume that my gesso wasn't on as well as I thought it was. Right, let's go with this. Oh, my highlight color's drying. Alright, here we go. Add some water and it comes back to life. Pretty sure there's like a bolt here, but I can't actually see it, so I'm not gonna add it. That goes like that. Now, this one has quite a bit of highlights on it, so let's add all that. Get some bright white here. Throw that in. And let's blend that. All right. Let's see. A little bit more. Right there. Switching out fingers. Okay, and I think I want to go a little darker right here. Water. Okay, now this one is mostly dark, like around the outside edge, so I'm gonna use my detailed brush. And we're gonna kind of just draw it. I'm gonna try to get it at about the height and the size of the other one. Do. I'm going to take a bit of white. It's too high. And it's gone. Just like that, it's gone. Alright, I thought it's too high because this is round, so it would actually jump down. So it would be like here. Because the Sentinel's head is like curved. It would just be lower, and you can see right here it's like it's not straight across, it's not higher, it's like curved a bit, so looks better. I'm at 8:30. Raven, how's it going? Looks like you've been here chatting for a little while. Sorry, sometimes I get lost in the painting. And Chosen One's here over on Mixer. Hello. Yep, you're painting. So, this is Wolverine. In case you didn't know, sometimes people might not know. He's an X-Men. This is actually my second superhero one. We did Spider-Man before, and Spider-Man came out pretty great. So we switched over to Wolverine. I'm pretty happy with how Spider-Man came out. Normally I do like landscape stuff. That's what that's what I learned. So doing all this superhero stuff is new, but I've been having a blast doing it, and I've been pretty happy with the results too. I think everything's been coming out pretty nicely. It definitely takes a lot more time. We put a lot of time into this painting, many hours, and normally I can do a landscape in about 3. But we spent just multiple hours on this. So not too much water. Just a little bit to kind of blend this, but not too much. I'm gonna take, let's see, go into yellow a bit. Maybe kind of get muddy yellow with a touch of purple. Maybe a little bit more purple. This is kind of the bricks back here, so I'm gonna try to match that color a little bit. Something like that. I think that's looking pretty good. See, I'm a gamer, so eventually I'll get my channel going. Or even if you're considering streaming or making videos, just hop on it. It's so much fun. Everybody has to start somewhere. So if you think it's something you would like, just go for it. I kind of like talked myself out of doing it for a couple of years. It was something I wanted to do, and I kept just coming up with excuses because I think I was like sort of scared. And finally I just did it, and it's really not as bad. I mean, like, yeah, at first you're gonna be by yourself talking to nobody, but people will start showing up and you'll make friends, and it's just so much fun. Let's see. I think this is actually a little more square than what I have it, so I'm gonna add a little bit of purple to this. Pull that out like that. There we go. And there's a little bit of a quite dark shadow right back here, so let's add that in too. Something like that, I think. Okay, back to my highlight color. So this is mostly white, just a touch of yellow. Something like that. Alright, now I'm not really sure exactly what this little circle thing is, but I'm gonna paint it. I'm gonna paint it anyways. It makes it harder. It makes it a little bit hard when I don't know what something is, because I don't know how it would react. I don't know how the colors would bounce off of it. I don't know, you know, naturally how to shade it if I can't quite figure out what the reference is doing. So it makes it a little bit tougher, but I'm just gonna do my best. I don't know if I want to add black to this. I need to dull this color down. It needs to be kind of like a golden-y color. Maybe that'll work. More peach than golden, but I might use it anyway. Let's add a little bit of black. Something like that. I would like to do white highlight on there, but the background kind of keeping it from showing up, so I need to add some yellow around the edges, and then the white will stand out against it a little bit better. So I'm gonna go just into some straight yellow. And we're gonna add that around the outside here. And kind of let that blend off best I can. Alright. Now I should be able to go back and add white, and the highlight will stand out a lot better now. So this is just going to be pure white. There we go. Much nicer. Now I'm looking at his face, and he's got a highlight that comes around. So let's add that too. Had a big glob. Alright, let's put that right there. And I'm just gonna get this line. This kind of comes around like that. Sort of fades off. Something like that. But it's not on the very, very edge, so I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. Something like that. And there are like, I don't know, just like little doobies. I don't know what you call those. Just little detail line things. Rock is a circle. About the regular show. Which show? I might have missed what you said. I know we talked about several different shows. I don't know what the regular show is. From what I can see on my screen, I don't see anything about what I think you would be referring to. Alright. We've got like a little... I don't know what that is. There's something coming out of his helmet right there. I'm gonna add it. Let's start off with purple color. And it kind of just comes out right here. And goes up. And then kind of like curves over his head. Then I'm gonna get something. I'm gonna get some darker color. We gotta shape this bad boy. Best way to do that is You guys heard me say it a million times, right? Highlights and shadows. So let's add some of those in there. Darkened up my color a little bit. Let's put our shadow in. Okay, and highlight. More color. Right there. Not too bad. I think I need some black to really separate this. It's kind of hidden in all the shadows, but there we go. I like it. I think it's coming out. It's a little detail right there. Brighten this up. I'm just using pure white for this. So I want this to be brighter. Not a lot, not everywhere, just kind of here and there, because sometimes it would get just like blasts of color, and some areas would just be brighter than others. But not everywhere. Just occasional touches of light. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. You know what? I realized there is a highlight over here I didn't do. I'm gonna throw this, just throw this right there. Don't know exactly where that would be. Let's do a couple of them. I think that looks good. Alright, I'm gonna step back and kind of look a little bit. Make sure my pipe, I think it might need to come out a little bit on the bottom side. I'm not sure it's lining up correctly. I think that'll look a little bit better. So picky, guys. Maybe you're probably used to it now. Okay, I like that. I mean, there's some areas in the background that I'm gonna have to touch up over time. I think there's like a little spot over there and just little things. But I don't think I'm gonna worry about that stuff today. We've got a lot done. I know it probably doesn't seem like I did a whole lot today. It's like, it's 8:50. And I know we spent like a lot of time just like on these pipes and stuff, but there's just so much detail in them. Just doing all that stuff I think is really, really coming together. I mean, look at his helmet. Like, I mean, I'm getting pretty happy with the progression of this. I can probably sit here and like nitpick on it like all day. But I think it's really starting to come together. And we're getting closer and closer to just doing Wolverine. And even that is going to take some time. I mean, he's got a lot of detail, especially like right here. I don't know how I'm going to do all that. So a lot of stuff going on right there with his muscles and stuff. I'm nervous also about doing his teeth. I'm worried that I'm really going to mess that up. A lot of little detail in there. There's so much emotion in his face, and I'm hoping that I can just capture it. Never really done a face before. And then of course there's the Sentinel itself. I'm worried I'm not going to be able to like color match it, but I think it might be okay. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact. It's kind of what I did here, if I can sort of just remember, you know, just light areas and shadow. I got to break it down and do it that way. And then I think it'll be okay. Instead of trying to make it look like a flesh color, just trying to break it down and be like, does this light match that light? Does this dark match that dark? And then it'll come together, instead of worrying about the overall like picture of it, because that'll just be too hard. Alright, let's clean off some of these brushes. And I usually go to about 9, and it's getting pretty close to 9. Might be a little bit early, but I think we're on a spot that's a pretty good spot to stop at. I definitely have some paint left over. I don't really like having leftover paint, because I feel like I'm wasting it, but I'll figure out something to do with it. I've got like a piece of paper back there that I've been kind of throwing my extra paint on. It's looking kind of cool. Zane, hello. Zane says hello, meow, hello, hello. I want to thank everybody for being here and hanging out. I want to thank for everybody that followed on Mixer and YouTube. If you guys haven't figured it out, I'm restreaming. I'm actually on Mixer, YouTube, and DLive. Just checking out, seeing out what's happening. I'm definitely still growing a lot faster on Mixer, but just keeping everything in mind and just seeing what's going on. I was on YouTube for a long time. I left YouTube for about 2 years to go straight to Mixer. Now I'm kind of trying a few different things, but it is pretty fun coming back to YouTube and seeing like some friendly faces again. And I have had people say that sometimes Mixer lags and buffers and stuff like that, and they're not having those issues when they go to the other one. So that's good to know. I will be back Wednesday. I almost forgot my own schedule. I stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then sometimes I'll do weekend stuff. Just depends on like how busy my weekends get. But yeah, so we'll probably continue working on this on Wednesday. I'm excited to get the Sentinel all done, which is I'm sure we'll finish up his face and then start on Wolverine. I don't think it'll take us that long to finish up his face, and then we'll get started on Wolverine, which will be pretty cool. This is coming together pretty nice. I'm really excited. I'm excited for this one. This was pretty good. I had you guys, well, my sponsors, I had my sponsors vote. I gave them like 4 or 5 different characters to pick from, and Wolverine won by a landslide. So, and then on stream, I went and I found a picture that I thought was pretty cool. This is what we got. It's been pretty fun painting it. I'm excited. But yeah, so I will see you guys on Wednesday. I want to thank you guys for being here. If you haven't already, you should join my Discord. You should follow me on Twitter. All the links are in my descriptions. I don't know if I've got any mods hanging out right now that'll, you know, throw up them. But, you know, if you're on YouTube, if you're on DLive, if you're on Mixer, just check my info. All the links are down there. So you guys have a fantastic day, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Where's my slide? There it is. Alright, thanks guys. Bye!